Alright, g'day. Ron here. Look, I'm just doing a review of these 7 games. Now, there's 7 wins in a row, but it wasn't me that won. It was a guy on PokerStars called Dussel, D-U-S-S-E-L, and his Sharkscope rating is quite high. I might actually just bring Sharkscope up and let's have a look at it with his name and just see what it says about him before we go much further. But his Sharkscope rating was 68, which is fairly good, I would think. God knows why he's playing a $1.50 game. So let's see if we can figure out why he's doing that. What's going on here? There we go. Should just log in automatically. It says I've got 5 free searches remaining. What the fuck? Hang on. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Come on. What's my password for Sharkscope? I haven't got a clue. Fuck me. Never have this trouble. And now all of a sudden I have. Hang on. I'll be back. If I can work out how to pause it, I'll be back. Alright, sorted that out, and we're now logged in. So we'll go advanced, and we'll go to filter, and we'll go $1.50 heads up hyper, and we'll search for Dussel, D-U-S-S. There he is. And that's that one. There's a few Dussies and Dussels I noticed. I've actually got a Dussel B, and some other damn thing I've played in PokerStars. And there's a Dussel B. I don't know whether he's the same guy or not, but anyway. This is the guy. So let's have a look. Wow, look at that. So it says his overall rating is 64, and his profit's 320. Now, my overall rating is 61 for heads-up hypers at $1.50. So it's a 3% or 3 better rating than mine, and he's played nearly 2,300 games. So obviously he knows what he's doing, and but my thing come in as 68. Oh, hang on, I'll just redo this back to all heads-up hypers. Where are they? Heads up hyper all, and we'll go back to him again. Alright, and that didn't work. It's supposed to be all heads up hypers. Why didn't that work? Once it gets in there, how do we do that? You'd think when you click on one of these it'd change. There we go. So how do we get that to go back to here? Sit and go only. No stakes, no entrance. Alright, so now we'll go to heads up hypers only. All heads up, and there's no stakes, so it's just all heads up. Now we'll search. Because I've been using the Sharkscope desktop, and yeah, okay, that gives him a 67 rating and average stake. So if we have a right click, go to tournament history, let's have a look, see what we got here. Alright, so he's played a few recently and lost some. That's good to hear, because he nailed me. 7 in a row. Sickening. So there he's playing me here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 wins in a row. What an arsehole, hey? Fuck me. Anyway, he's lost a couple here. but clearly he can play. And what else does he play? And he plays all small stakes, $1.40 or $1.50, $3.50, and there's one $7 one. Oh no, two or three $7 ones in there. So he's not real keen on the $7, but he has played them. So his rating at 67 there on overall is good rating, and I don't see any reason why he can't pay $7 games all the time. But anyway, let's get in and see if we can figure out what I did wrong, which is what I'm interested in. Get rid of that. What's this? Get rid of that. Golly. Alright. First game was at 8:55 AM, so that's one we'll look at. And we'll just do every hand, and we'll let them run automatically and then see if we can pick up some faults. So there's the first hand there. Replay all hands and report, and go. Alright, clearly he's a bluffer, so we should take that note. He's willing to bet any pot, whether he's got a hand or anything like it at all. And as we can see, that's the very first hand. So I must say I didn't even notice that when I watched that first up, so when I was playing. So here's the next hand, and he gets out of it with a C-bet. 10-3 is a fold hand for me when I'm versus a raise. 3-9 is not in my range of hands. Now, I've been getting some coaching from P. Boggs. He's a heads-up sit-and-go coach, and he was suggesting I should limp every hand, but to be honest, I don't know. When I first started just limping every hand, I just found I lost a shitload of games in a row. So I think 3-9's, you know, like, versus a good player, it's probably an easy fold, I think, and I don't think anyone can complain there. So let's continue. $5-9, and he's limped, so I can check. Now, on this flop, I've really got nothing. I've got what I need, 6-7 to make straight, or 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need a 7 or a jack for obvious straights. So we go to the turn, and if we can get this to go. All right, now I've made a pair, but you see he's checked. Now he checks his second pair, and I assume when they check second pair they just don't have anything, and that's probably a mistake. So let's just go on. So I check. Now he bets. So I think now I got a piece of the board, and he's just bluffing. So I call. So clearly I'm making a mistake. Now we go to the river, and he bets again. And why is he betting again? So I just naturally assume he's bluffing because it's a shitty little bet, and I call because I'm a fish. And there we go. He shows me a 10. I'm like, fuck me, how can you do that? So I guess I'm going to have to figure that out somehow. I'm going to move this over a bit because it's not right in the screen. Bit off to one side, bit annoying. All right, so let's go to the next one. Continue on. Jack 3, and I folded. I think, I don't know, people would argue about whether you can play it or not. Here I get it all in, I think, yeah, and I think that's just a cold deck. Pretty unlucky, and he wins that game. All right, next game. Oh, hang on, I'm going to go back here. So there's the next game there, and pretty short game. what's the first hand? 13. Oh, Jesus Christ. 580, 860, 270, 9. Okay. So I think that might be the first hand there. That can't be first hand because there's 500 chips. Let's go the other way. Fuck, I'm dumb. Alright, replay all hands. No, that's not right either. What's going on? I don't understand. Let's just get out of this for a second. How on earth are you supposed to sort those hands? Because that one there, clearly someone wins 500 chips and it's not me. So you'd think that was the first hand, but have to go time and put it that way. Now we're going to do it. Alright. So here we go. A king 4 is not a bad hand pre-flop, and I c-bet, he folds, can't argue that. Next one, Jack 7, again not a bad hand, easy call or 3-bet. So I 3-bet to 60. Probably not quite enough, probably should have been a 3-bet to 80, but anyway, let's see what happens. He folds, good, next one. Queen 7, again a good starting hand, re-raised all in, insta-fold. Yep, I think that's fine. Ace Jack versus Ace 3. Now, let's just go back a bit here because that's just pretty dumb. So there's the open, he min raises. Oh, I'm the fuckhead. I go all in with Ace 3. Now, typically this is a mistake, and the other thing is, if you've got an ace, there's less chance he's got an ace. But here we are, both have aces. I've got Ace 3. So I've been cold decked. The shove, I think, at 25 big blinds is probably incorrect, even in a hyper, although I have seen plenty of people shove them. And so there's two sides to this argument for me. Ace X I should be able to shove and get away with. Pretty unlucky that I shove into another ace with a massive big kicker. If I'd shoved into King 7 or King 8 and lost, well, that's just bad luck. But shoving into Ace Jack, well, that's even more bad luck, and you know, pretty unlucky to be cold decked like that. However, in retrospect, I think shoving Ace 3 for 25 big blinds is pretty dumb. And I think a much better hand would have been, much better way to play it would have best been to flat and then maybe shove this flop, because there's a good draw there, and he's missed completely. He's got no flush draw. All he's got is ace high, and he would then probably put me on a pair or a better hand than Ace Jack, and he might fold. So there you go. I should have shoved the flop. I should have just checked or called. So let's go back to the beginning. And he raises to 40. I just go flat and don't shove. And then he most likely calls. If he shoves over, I should fold. And then when he calls, I should now shove this flop because I've got a gut shot with an ace. And that would have been pretty cool. And we can just have a look on Poker Stove. Let's find Poker Stove. There it is. And put this hand in and see what we think about it. It says there he's 71%. Oh, we don't need Poker Stove. It's already got it. So he's 71% to win. But if we did this and we weren't all in, I reckon he'd probably fold to a shove there. So anyway. End of game. Next one. Now, this one, at least we can work out which one's the beginning. There it is. Replay all hands. This is a longer game, and you see we're starting to build up some hands on this guy. Now he limps 49, he min raises 40, and he opens 46. What the fuck? How does that? There's something wrong with my HUD or my databases. I had this little fella here. I've taken it out, but it shows you all hands played, and it gets up to the thousands against opponents, so something a bit funny there. Anyway, not to worry. So we might just set this show HUD values, HUD state values at time of hand. That's the best thing to do. Alright. Okay. Now, we don't know his hand, and we're right to go. Let's go. So I raise to 40, he folds. Good. Typical. And again, he flats, I re-raise, and he folds. Good. Can't see anything wrong so far. Right, I got ace king. I raise, he folds. Can't see anything wrong there. Pocket fives. He flats, I shove. There's nothing wrong there. He folds. Good. Jack 7. I flat. He raises. I should fold. I do. Oh, this is open the wrong thing again. Most annoying. I don't know why it does that. King 9 there. I can check call maybe. Only want to check fold. Oh, you probably bluffed me out of a pot there. But with King 9, there's no reason why I shouldn't continue, I don't think. King Queen. I should re-raise. I do. I'm not doing too much wrong. Queen 7. I should raise. I do. He folds. Might have to do a new database. These stats are just fucked. I don't understand them at all. Anyway, King Jack, raise, he folds. Alright, so he's playing ultra tight. So his flat state is 17%. So his 3-bet shove is 17%, and his call open shove is 17%. Now, he flats 10s, and this is interesting to me because I don't understand why anyone would flat pocket 10s. Now, maybe I've got it wrong, but I'm assuming pocket 10s is a re-raise, call a shove. So he just flats. And now he's got 2 overs, so he's in a world of hurt if I've got any kind of hand at all, which I don't, damn it. And he bets 20. So easy call for queen, and I'm thinking queen high is probably okay here, and he checks and he bets another 20. I have to call, and then he shows me 10s, and I'm like, what the fuck? So that's what, smart play by him. Obviously he figures I haven't got an ace. If we go back to the beginning, start of the hand, an ace should technically be a 3-bet. However, I have an ace range, ace X through to ace 7. I don't re-raise normally. I just flat. So I could easily have an ace there. And I suppose he's playing at small ball and just trying to get some thin value. He's assuming that I might have a 5. He's obviously thinking I've got a 5 or I'm trapping with kings, but I seriously doubt he thinks that. And so I blow a few chips there. So I think I played it wrong. How am I to know he's got 10s there? It just doesn't make sense. Did he even min raise? Oh, where are we? Hold on, put that on pause. pause. Now go back. So he just flatted. Didn't even raise. So he's trapping with tens. So if we wanted to make a note on this guy, we'd suggest that he's a big trapper, and he's got a trap pocket 10, so he's trapping pocket queens, jacks, kings and aces. He's probably even trapping ace king. Anyway, so let's move on. And we need to take a note next time we see something like this, where he's checked a low pocket pair down and didn't play it pre-flop, that the guy's a trapper, and we should write in traps 10s plus, which I think I actually did in this game when I was playing it, but it's in the PokerStars stuff, not in it's not in this. Alright, raise, re-raise. Now, he only 3-bets 17%, so we presume that he's better than Jack 7 there. 10-3 fold, I think that's fine. 4-3 raise, he folds. Oh, excuse me. I raise most suited cards, 7-2 and 6-2 and 5-2 and 3-2 I don't normally raise, but all the other suited cards I raise. Now here, I've just decided to take it easy with the 6. I get to the river, he folds, so yeah, not too bad. 9-2 is a fold for me, so open fold. May or may not have been a mistake, I don't know. I don't think it's much of a mistake, even if it is a mistake. 2-3 is just check. I've hit me 3, I bet, he folds, I think that's fine. Ace 3 is just a check. Alright, so my ace is probably good here, and I probably should have bet, and I didn't. And I fold when he leads, so he's c-betting the turn. I should have, I don't know, maybe not. Jack 8, we picked that up. Ace 4, in raise. So he's raised, because he doesn't raise that much. What's he raising? 35% it says here. So 9-10, unlucky here. Now I see bet he flats, and of course he's got the fucking nuts now, and I've got shit. And then I river me 5, so he bets half pot at me, and I call because I pot me 5 because I'm a fish, and I should fold. I think some days I just get a fishy mood, and other days I tend to have a bit more brain. But next hand. Don't know what to think of that. Well, stop it. I suppose, I think that's a bit weak. I think I should have called a straight there, for sure. We get there, he donks. So what's he donking? You know, like, really? Is he donking king or queen there? I must have thought that at the time, but when I look at it now, I think, well, I should call 1 straight. Anyway, I don't have much for draw. I got a backdoor flush draw, and I got a pair, and I'm drawing to what, 5 outs. I got 3 aces and 2 twos to draw to. I think I could still call 1 straight at least and see it. So I think that's probably a mistake. Continue. Not much of a mistake. King 2, King 7, and he shoves and I've called. Now, we'll just stop there. You'll notice, if we can find it, it's hidden. Where's it gone? Let's see if we can find it. There it is. Alright. Okay, 6.8. There's no reason why I can't call that. If we get this up, Nash caller, and King 7 offsuit, 12.4 big blinds. So I'm calling it a 6.8. Go away. Oh, it's King 7 suited anyway, so yeah. So it's a perfectly good call, and as usual, I get unlucky. So there you go. And nothing wrong with the call, so he won that one because he got lucky. So, fine. That's life. Next one. So that's 3 games we reviewed. This one, he shouldn't have won. I had the best hand, and I should have got the money. Those 2, I think he outplayed me. Yeah. Well, he's probably outplayed me in every game, but there you go. There's one game there he shouldn't have won. Alright, so this one, replay all hands. Move this over in the screen so it's not so offsided. And go. Pocket 3s. Open. I should shove. I do. He folds. Cool. Queens. I raise. He folds. That sucks. Now, I could limp there, and probably most heads-up people would actually limp queens there, so that's probably a mistake. You're forcing them to play a hand against you then when you've got a pocket pair. King Jack there. I've donked into him. He said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm hanging there with me 6-8. He totally misses. Now, this is fishy. I do not understand why he'd sit there with 6-8. He's got no draw to anything except a 6 or an 8. So he's got 6 outs. And he stayed in there. So, anyway. Pocket 5s, I jammed. He folded. Queen 8. Pretty easy to just check Queen 8. And a flop 2 pair. I check to him. He checks. Sucks when he checks. So he's not particularly aggressive. Then I make one little bet and he's out. So obviously had absolutely nothing there. 2-5 suited. Open fold is probably a mistake. I probably should have limped it. 3-9 I can fold easily, particularly to a raise. Ace king, min raise, he flats. He donks, I call. I've got flush draw. Plus any ace, any king's good, so I raise him and he folds, so that's cool. Nothing wrong there. Queen jack. So I just check, I just flat him. And we flat that flop. It's a dry flop. He shouldn't have an ace there, I wouldn't think. He bets, I call. And there's a 7, and he bets another 40, and I decide to quit, so I assume he's got part of that somewhere. He might have the 5 or the 7. King 6, a raise, he flats. Hit top pair, and I bet pot, because it's just very drawy, and that's probably probably a bit wrong. Here we are, cold decked again, all in with 6s, and he's got aces. Well, fuck me. So, and I had him down on the ropes, and yep, he just nuts it. So anyway, that was bad luck. Queen 4. Open folding Queen 4 is a mistake. However, I don't know why these come up different all the time. Hang on. I shift this thing around all over the fucking joint and put it right in the middle. We'll lock save. See if that works. Because it's a pain in the ass the way it keeps moving. If you lock it, you'd think it'd stay there, wouldn't you? Well, I missed that. Let's go back. Oh, it's just an open fold. Okay. Alright. Continue. King 3. There, we can just flat. We'll check. straight jaw. Now this is a gut shot because you can't get anything the other side of the ace, so it's only got 4 outs. And we missed them all. We got king high. He bet 60 into the pot, and I decided to quit. I think that's fair enough. 10-2 I don't tend to play. Might be a mistake, but it's only a small one if it is. King Jack. And now, this is not a bad shove over, and considering that he just limps. No, wait on. Pause it. Backspace. He min raises. Now the last time he played 10s he didn't, he limped. So here he is playing 10s and he's min raised. Anyway, I decide in my wisdom to shove King Jack. Alright, so his min raise is 30%. If we have a look at, not that, go here, poker stove. Right. Now hard to get an idea what this guy's doing because we know he limps pocket 10s, but if we give him a min raise of 30%, what are we giving him? Got to be a fair few hands there. Gee, goes on forever. Nearly got 30. There we go, 30%. So that's his min raising range. That's, well, we assume. And I've got King Jack off. How often do we win? 47%. So we're a slight dog to his hand, to his range. But, you know, I think it's just bad luck. I shove, and of course we get to the river and we miss. Got a gut shot. That was it, because he's got the 10, so that's why we're missing. So, wasn't necessary to 3-bet shove all in. At 12 big blinds, you can't sort of min raise, or you can't sort of 3-bet fold, I don't think. So you either have to flat or go all in. I chose to go all in. As it turned out, it was bad luck. So I don't think it was a particularly bad hand, and 47% were against his range. We're not making a mistake, or certainly not a big one. So continue. Next game. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 games we've done, and I've been cold decked 3 times. Next one. Where are we? 905. Alright. Replay all hands and report. And go. Queen 8. It's certainly a flat. So I 3-bet because he limps. He calls. I c-bet. He calls. Now I think I'm in trouble. I bet 100. He calls. And I open fold. I think when he calls 3 times in a row there like that and just flats, he's obviously got me beat. I didn't want him to see what I was raising with. I just wanted to go, nah, fuck it, I'm out. I should know that this guy flats and doesn't re-raise till the river. It's his trademark. He waits till the river for most of his big action. So had we stayed there, if I checked, he's obviously betting no matter what. He would have put me all in, and or he would have bet 20 just to make me call. So just by folding, it just stopped him his little pleasurable bit there of whatever he had. I seriously doubt he's sitting there with pocket 2s, but even if he did, he had me beat. So good for him. All right, next hand. A7, raise, I shove, it's a good shove for 10 big blinds, he folds. 8-4, pretty easy fold, I open fold it. We've got 12 big blinds, we should be playing a game. Now, I re-raise here with the aces, and I don't think I'm ever folding here no matter what. We scare him out of the pot. So let's just stop that and have a look and see why we scared him out of the pot. Alright, what did I do? We got the king 6-9. There's a potential flush draw. There's a 9 to king straight draw possible, and there's a 6 to 9 straight draw possible. So it's a pretty good chance someone's got some part of that. Anyway, I bet 60, which is 2/3 the pot. He obviously hasn't got a king or a flush draw, or he might have called. So we just bad luck. We couldn't get any more money out of it. I could have bet 40, or I could have even checked and let him get another straight. But if you check and let him get another straight, you can make 2 straights and a flush. It's like, fuck, you can't let him check. So I have to bet. I think the bet's okay. I don't know, a bit frustrating. Anyway, continue. So what happened there? Let's have a look. He stopped. Go back to this ace king. He min raises. I just 3-bet shove. Yeah. I know better players probably don't, but ace king, nah. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly wrong, but probably if I'm going to hit and what have you, and win more chips per hand, I can probably go just, he does 40, I could probably just not all in 3-bet, and that would be a better move. So raise it to say 100, and yeah, 100, 2.5 times his bet. He puts in the other 60, and then unless I've got a really fucked up flop, I'm probably either stacking him or stacking me, one or the other. But anyway, let's continue. Two 6, I limp. It's probably a bit weak. I'll make me 6. I should call, and he now checks it down. So he just does a stab in the dark all the time. He gets a 4 on the river and he checks it. So my guess is that if he's got a hand, he bets the river, and if he hasn't got a hand, he checks. Here we go, open shove, or 3-bet shove. Again, let's have a look. Min raise, so he's min raising all his low pairs, and tens he might limp or he might min raise. Interesting. So I shove, and of course he's got 7s, got me beat. So I'm cold decked again. So that's 3 out of 4 games, 4 out of, I was cold decked in 1, 2, 3 games in a row. So last one. Now this is a long game. It took about 7 minutes. Put it back on the screen. I don't know why I set the screen that side of my thing. But anyway, alright, so here we go. 4-7 there, yeah, pretty easy fold I think, to a c-bet, no matter what. Although, he probably hasn't got an 8 or a 2, but, you know. Folded 2-5, suited, potential mistake. 6-3, should fold I think, yes. 10-8. That's a call at least, or 3, no, oh hang on, whoa, what have I done? That's a big raise, I've got 22 big blinds. So, I raise, oh he 3-bets, so I flat 3-bet. Yeah, okay. Bit unlucky on the flop. Now I've got 8, 9, 10, nothing, so I've got a gut shot, 4 outs, and there it comes, the jack. He checks the river, and I bet 120, he folds. I got to bet something. I know I got the nuts. Probably, in hindsight, I probably should have bet like 30, and that would let him think that just about any pair he's got's probably good. So I need to slow down when I make nut hands and or second nut hands. So there's a mistake there. I continue. Ace-5 versus Ace-2, a flat. I haven't gone on tilt. This is the last game versus him, and I thought I might have been going on tilt, but don't seem to. He checks, and we both check the river, and it's a split pot. Hang on. What happened there? I misinterpreted that. Yeah, it's a split pot. Okay, alright. Continue. 9-2, I just open fold. Not much for hand. They're not calling a raise, will they? Pocket 8s. I raise, he flats. Sucks that he flats. So we decide we've got showdown value, we just check it down, and because we've got an ace over and we've got a king over, and we'll call a bet in the river. But he didn't, so not too bad. Pretty careful play on my part. 2-3, check fold, yeah, I don't mind that. Queen 8, raise, fold, yeah. 9-8. Fold 9-8 is probably a mistake, probably could call that for a min raise. 6-4, just flat. He raises to 80, easy fold. Four 9. Jack King. Now this is a typical thing I do, and I did it last night at a tournament, and here I get lucky with me too, but it's not that much luck when you consider that he's got an 8. So weak kickers, you got to be so careful with, and you know, probably shouldn't be betting a weak kicker there. Probably should just show down and see if it works. 9-2's a fold. He raises 10-2. I flat with Queen Jack, and he bets half pot on a thing, and I go, no, I don't believe you. So he gets a 2, and he checks it down, and I've got the queen, and I check it down, I take the pot. So, nice, pretty careful, and realise that he's not full of, he's full of shit on his c-bets a lot of the time. King Jack here suited, c-bet half pot fold, yeah, that's good. Pretty standard play. Ace-5 versus Jack-Queen. I check. I miss everything. He's looking for a 3, but he c-bets anyway. And I got nothing there really. And he check, and I check, and he takes it down with ace-high. I should read from that his checking is pretty weak. And but I was trying the same thing. I was just trying to get the showdown with a queen high or king high, whatever it was. He's trying to get the showdown with an ace high, so fair enough. Jack 5 here. I think if he bets, I'm folding, and that's it. I do. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. A6. In raise, he folds. But he's very tight caller. He's flooding 33% now. We're down to 12 to 18 big blinds. And 23% up on the higher, 24% total. So, pretty tight flat. 3-9, I got 2 pair. C-bet third of the pot, and he dumps it. So, obviously had nothing. Queen 4, he's checked. I should be betting now. We know when he checks, we know he can check an ace. This is what stopped me betting. I'm scared because he might have an ace. I bet the river and prove he hasn't got one, so fair enough. Didn't value. He's still playing a min-raising game at 10 big blinds, which is interesting. It does bring him back chips if I fold. And he's flattered me here. I've got diddly squat, and so I'm checking. He's checking with his king now, and his king's best. He knows it, so I know it. But maybe I shouldn't have been in a hand with 2-9 in the first place. Who knows? If you're going to be in a hand like that, you surely should c-bet, I think, no matter what the flop comes. Alright, now this quite good. I've got second pair, and I think that's okay. Now I make trips, and he's just, I don't know. How can you not bet? I suppose I could trap. Raise Jack 4, fine. Pocket 8s, call, raise all in. 10 big blinds. It's not a mistake, but versus this guy it might be. It's not normally a mistake, but anyway. Jack 3. He calls, so here I probably should donk that, but he c-bets, I fold. Jack 4 again, pretty shitty hand for 10 big blinds. Ace 9, I'm pretty much going to shove it. Yep, he folds. So we pick up some chips. 8-2, flat, or fold, sorry. 10 big blinds. We're really looking for push fold hands here. We don't want to do much else. When he limps in, we can check. We've made middle pair. We should win this hand, I would think, most of the time. And we take it down with a c-bet. Well, to load c-bet. Ace-5 versus ace-queen. We go bang bang, he calls. And what happens? We've got an ace, tens, split pot. Doesn't that suck? So best hand again, and I can't win because we split it. We've got 7.6 big blinds going, effective, that's him. And we're still playing fairly careful. I don't know why I limped here with 7 big blinds. Absolute mistake. And I try and steal it, and that's a mistake. And I call that, and that's a mistake. So I'm losing this hand big time, and that's a mistake. And right, and the second time I've done that now, and absolutely dumb. Yeah, very disappointed there. I don't know what's going on. Bit of tilt coming on. Ace-8, it's just straight out shove if we're given the opportunity. Eight-6, just check fold, I think. Hit me 6, I should play it. He bets, I call. And he's now waiting for the flush if he can get it, but he hits his jack instead, which just fucks me. And he bets 50, which is nice and small, I have to call. So yeah, so small bets when you make a hand are extracting dollars out of better players or shitty players like me. And I shove ace-3 here with 2.8 big blinds, and of course I get cold decked again, but we split because there's 2 pair. So can't say it's that bad. 2-9 you can't play, I don't think. Although 2.8 big blinds is probably a nash. Why don't we just stop there? Let's have a look. Nash, pusher. 9-2 offsuit. 2.2. So yeah, it was 2.7. So it wasn't quite a call, but you know. Anyway, 7-9 for 1.8 is definitely going to be a nash. Idiot. Come on, show me it. And 9-7 off. 10 big blinds, so nash is, you know, 1.8 is never a mistake. And we're just unlucky. He's got jack-8 and we don't hit, and he does. Game over. So certainly a couple of big mistakes I made. Quite a lot of it was just bad luck. Cold decked, split pot when I got the best hand. 2 or 3 games there I could have won, and just got a bit unlucky. Well, that's my review of my game. I'll upload it, and maybe someone will make some comments, and maybe somebody can tell me something they think I've done wrong. Alright, cheers.